Okay, so today we are going to talk about a couple different things to kind of wrap up radicals and finish our last law of exponents. So the first thing with radicals we're going to talk about are these three words: estimate, simplify, and calculate. So simplify is what we've been doing this whole time. That's when we go ahead and break these radicals. Square root of 4, square root of 15 becomes 2 square roots of 15. That would be simplified. Now, estimate says, what do we think it's about? Well, if I had my list of perfect squares, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, where would the square root of 60 be? It would be right about in here. So somewhere between 7 and 8. Okay, so somewhere between 7 and 8 for an estimate. Now, it's closer to 8, so I'm going to know for sure that I'm definitely between the square root of 49 and the square root of 64, which would be 7 and 8. And I'm a little bit closer to the 8, so I'm going to go 7.6. Okay, so 7.6 would be my estimate. This is my simplified answer. This is my estimate, and then I go ahead and grab my calculator, and I actually put it in the calculator. So I go say, hey, what is the calculation or the square root of 60 as a decimal? For this decimal, we're going to go 4 places. So 7.7459. It's really 60. So I'll go 6. Nope, it's 60. Sorry about that. 60. So this is also an estimate, but it's a little bit closer. So this is where I think it should be. When I go put it in my calculator, I get 7.7460. So let's do it with 35. Well, if you remember, 35 isn't simplifiable because 35 isn't divisible by 25, 16, 9, 4, or 1. So this is the simplified answer, square root of 35. Now, where is the square root of 5 in this list? It would be right about here. So it's between the square root of 25 and the square root of 36. It's almost the square root of 36. So I'm going to go about 5.9. That's what I think my estimate is going to be. And then I'm going to grab my calculator, square root of 35. Approximately, remember 4 decimal places, 5.9161 is what I get. There would be my calculate answer. Okay, 200. Square root of 200 is square root of 100, square root of 2, so 10 square roots of 2. This would be my simplified answer. Now when I go to estimate, square root of 100, or 200, I'm sorry, is between, here's my little line, square root of 196 and square root of 225. So I'm between the square root of 196 and the square root of 225. I am a little bit closer to 196, and the square root of 196 is 14. So I'm going to go 14.2 as an approximate. Okay, so there's my estimate or my approximate. Now I'm going to go grab my calculator. Square root of 200 gets me about 14.1421. And then this would be my calculate. So that is a skill that's good just for regular math knowledge. Okay, regular math knowledge. Hopefully if you have any questions on that, we can talk about it tomorrow. Now, I want you to put these on your calculator. Actually, I'm going to hide these. I want you to go ahead and put these on your calculator. So 9 to the power of 1/2. On your calculator, it's going to look like this. You're going to put a 9, and then you're going to use the button that goes like this. Then you're going to put a parenthesis, 1 divided by 2, close the parenthesis. Or you could do 0.5. But either way, you're going to get 3. 64 to the power of 1/2 gets you 8. And 8 to the power of 1/3, you did that yesterday in your homework, you got 2. Now what the heck? What's going on here? Well, these are called rational exponents. Rational exponents, because they are fractions. Okay, rational exponents have a rule. So go ahead and turn your yellow sheet over. You have a yellow sheet with your notes. Go ahead and turn that over. Rational exponents, or the nth root, always follows this pattern. So this is what you should write, a to the power of 1 over n, where n is the root, the index, okay? So you're going to write that there. Hopefully you actually pause the video and write it because I want to keep going. Okay, then let's do some examples. So first one, with numbers. So really this is the square root of 81. Now you say, hold on, square root. Yep, the 2 is going to kick out. This is really a square root. We don't have to put the 2, and I also don't have to put the 1. So when I go to do that, we would actually never write the 2 or the 1, but this is what it would look like. Anything to the 1/2 power is a square root, and the square root of 81 is 9. With variables, the bottom number gets kicked out. So this is going to become the 4th root of x to the 3rd. This would be your answer, 4th root of x to the 3rd. Now next one, we got to do numbers and variables. So first I'm going to do 10 divided by 5, which gets us 2. And then I'm going to do laws of exponents here, right? So x to the 2.5 power divided by x to the 2nd power, right? So then I subtract them. Here's what it really is. X to the 2.5 divided by x to the 2. If I go to subtract them, I'm going to get 2x to the 1/2 power, so 0.5. So really 2x to the 1/2 power. We can't leave 1/2 powers. So guess what? Really that's 2 square roots of x. Because anytime you have a 1/2 power, that means a square root. Okay, I have some examples I think over here. So let me go write this one. Go write it the other way. I'm going to go y, and I go right, the 5 goes in the bottom because we kick that bottom number out, and then it'll be y to the 3/5. This one, we have to remember that there's an invisible 1 here. So really this becomes z to the 1/6. Okay? If you have questions, we will talk about them tomorrow, but make sure you're listening intently. I want you to make sure you know what's going on. Okay, let's practice. So I'm going to go write it in the other form, and then we're going to calculate it. So if I go write this in the other form, the 4 is going to kick out. It's going to become that 4th root of 16 cubed. So that's what it looks like when I write it the other way. And then I have to calculate. Now I like to calculate it when it's a rational exponent. So I'm going to go 16 to the power of 3/4. When I do that, I end up getting an answer 8. Okay, next one. The bottom number kicks out. So this is a square root, and then 9 to the 5th. Okay, 9 to the 5th is what that looks like. This is when I write it in the other form. And now I'm going to calculate that. 9 to the power of 5 divided by 2. It gets us an answer of 243. Next one. 4. The bottom number is kicked out, so that's going to become a 5 on the bottom, and I have a 2 on the top. So 4 to the 2/5. Again, I'm going to go calculate that. 4 to the power of 2 divided by 5. Gets me an icky decimal, approximately 1.7411. Last one, square root of 45. Square root of 45 is going to become 45 to the 1/2 power. Now if I'm going to calculate that, we know what that simplifies to be, but we're going to calculate it. So 45 to the 1/2 is going to get you this, 6.7082. Okay, now there were 3 problems from yesterday's worksheet that you now can do, 25, 27, and 30. After you do those, you can put that worksheet in the basket if you want. And then you have a book assignment. Your book assignment is listed on Schoology. If you need a book, they're over on the counter. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.